the tobacco industry's doing funding a scientific study on the healthiness of a tobacco product, how do you think that's going to work out?
1950, I was told smoking cures asthma.
Yeah.
You were alive in 1950?
Spin syllables, soliloquies so simple as these.
For 1,000 years I've waited to say, Zimmy Zam Boomafoo. It's Rickin' and Rappin', a podcast with a purpose. I'm King Cooper, live and in the flesh. Here with Alex, Flizzo, and the Ben. You can't spell wrecking without king, and the king has returned. We're going to jump into wrecking or rapping, but while I was gone, there was some question as to what is what. So, conquerors wreck the land they're taking. Wrecking could also be when a performer crushed it. Those bars were fire, is wrecking. Rapping is the purest sense of an MC. You're rapping when you're spitting bars, nothing left but the breath in your lungs. You might wrap up a few loose ends, and when you cut their lights off, that's a wrap. Any questions?
I mean, why is mine a wreck of the week then?
Because you chose to wreck things. But I said to deconstruct it.
Yeah. I mean like also, if I was going to take a land, I'm not going to destroy the land. You want to keep the land. You destroy the people.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't make you a bad guy.
True.
Despite the fact that half the guys in that meeting aren't bad guys.
Well, I think you... Yeah.
Zangief's not a bad Zangief is not a bad guy at all.
Along with wrecking the land and not being a bad guy, you just do it to quell the people down. Now this is your land.
But Zangief can be the hero. He dances with Gorbachev in the end.
I think that's the thing. Is Zangief is a representation of Russia at the time in which the game came out. So if as an American, Russia was bad.
I think
Ken's supposed to be American. Well, I guess Ken's
Russian
not American
accent makes you bad.
Ken's
I mean, historically in movies, yes.
Yeah,
and
bad
Russian
guy
media
accent.
But the
Russian accent was always the bad guy.
The bad guy is from... Oh, I can't remember the name of his fake country.
M. Bison's fake country.
Yeah.
Oh. Good old M. Bison.
Is he Vega?
Vega is Spanish.
Vega's South American.
No, he's Spanish. He's fake.
No, but he's Spanish. I thought he was.
Their original names wasn't M. Bison originally Vega?
No, he's Balrig. Because Balrig being M. Bison, Balrig is the boxer.
Yeah, and he was Mike Tyson, which was M. Bison.
Yeah, very much of. So that's why they switched his names. And
let's get into some wrecking or rapping.
So Vega can kind of be a bad guy. He's there to fight for money.
We all love Vega. All right. So I was out of the game for a while, and it's because baby been boggling my mind. Nappies and naps taking my time. Ain't no mistake when I rhyme with a chime. Kind words for girls with curls. Besides our growls, vitriol. Signs of love, swirls and pearl. The excitement I feel tonight as I bite my future, the meal's bright, and I deal my own delight. But there's no making this dream without the team. Benny holding it down with mama of three. For Philly Flizzo, Xander and me begin to see the sea clearly. Okay, wrecking or rapping, you must choose one.
I got weird in the middle there, changed flow. I like the first flow, it was very bopping.
I just had those rhymes that I wanted to get out, but it did not exactly fit. Need to make sure I get my gold shoes in.
Did you hit square?
So did you give that rap? So there's one rap. Alex, were you wreck?
No, I went with rap. I enjoyed that song.
So clean.
Also nicknames and things like that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I felt like we haven't had a rap in a while, so that was good.
I'm just saying, nobody loves Benny like Benny loves Benny.
Yeah, it's on my. Rap. I enjoyed it, and I will bring it back in the future. Possibly next week's episode.
There are multiple songs with my name. I did not use any of them.
I'm still Benny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. Speaking of rap legends, Eminem had some new music while I was gone. On the song Like My Expletive with an S, Eminem rhymes medulla oblongata with Hakuna Matata. He also says, how am I so sick if I keep getting better? Sick like wrecking, better like rapping.
Alligators are angry because the
what sick like better. You said
sick being
because we talked about what is wrecking and rapping. Sick is wrecking.
Yeah, but
better is rapping.
There's synonym. Well, not synonyms.
Sick
No.
is...
Homonyms?
Yeah, but sick
Eminem
is
is
good.
a synonym for sinister. What?
It's homonyms.
Yeah, that's why he said rapping.
All right, so the great king, our father, said sometimes he can't even hear half the words of the raps. This is a feature, not a bug. And why I already spoke about Plato's cave. There is a world out there that you don't know and must process it with the tools given, wrecking or rapping. Good or bad are not options because art is not a linear path. So you wondered who the great king was?
Yo, when you said our father, I thought you meant like the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, our
and I was
Father
like,
in
how
heaven.
is he telling you he can't hear your raps?
No, I
then,
said
like,
This antenna gives me a direct connection.
I said I don't think that
what did
listens to
Ben
rap.
say?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
I
he
mean-
I don't
listens
think
too
Dad
much
listens to
rap,
rap.
especially not the speed stuff.
Yo, would you consider Chris Gaines rap?
I don't know
I
who it
thought
is, so
Chris
probably
Gaines
not.
Chris
was-
Gaines.
He is Garth Brooks' alter ego. I thought he was pop. I thought he was
Oh.
pop music.
I don't remember. He only
He
put
was
out one
suppo-
CD.
Well,
But he was an
supposed
emo
to be a
thing,
movie.
I thought.
It was a movie
He was supposed to be a
that
movie.
didn't happen.
Why
So
would
he's
you
his
consider
alter
him
ego.
rap though?
Yeah, does he ever rap?
That was the
okay.
question. Was he rap? Like, he only put out one
No.
CD, and I don't own the CD. So, like, I don't
Yeah, but-
recall the music. I know I liked it, but I don't recall
know.
what it was.
It wasn't.
Probably pop
Then
the
why'd you
country.
pose the question if you don't know if he was rapping?
I can't speak
Our
on this
father would
topic,
listen
but I'm
to
going to bring it up.
Garth Brooks.
Would you
But
consider?
would he listen to Chris Gaines? And if he did, was that rap? That was the question. I was trying to connect it all.
Yeah, but none of
That
us
would-
know Chris
That would
Gaines'
require
music.
research. I don't know who.
I mean,
I
I'm
would say
gonna look
High
into
Wire
it.
Man,
So,
kind of bit is a rap country song.
So
Or
thinking
is
of
it High
rapping
Line Man? I
country,
think it's High Wire.
so I found something very weird that the Lil Nas X, you know that song? I can't.
Old Town Road?
Yeah, It's
okay.
the writing of it is credited to Trent Reznor
Oh.
because
I don't think Trent Reznor's rap though.
No, but he is very heavily, in all music now. The backing track is entirely a Nine Inch Nails song. It's a
Well,
ghost,
then I mean,
so
Does
I
Nine
guess
Inch
it would-
Nails still
would-
make music?
Nine Inch Nails is Trent Reznor.
But there are no,
is
there's nobody
the-
else in it?
Well,
I thought it was a group.
now Atticus Finch is also in it.
Oh
And
man, they must be
From
so
To Kill a
old.
Mockingbird?
Okay.
No,
That was like 1980. That book came out. Like,
Atticus Ross. I screwed it up. You're the other Atticus. Atticus Ross. Atticus Finch is the Mockingbird guy. You're right. No, Atticus
Finch
Ross
is
is
Kill a Mockingbird.
the guy. They did is the girl. No, they did do the music for the girl with the dragon tattoo. The Gone Girl. They made that. The Social Network. They've done the music for those. They did Soul.
I mean, the other question would be: is what
This
do
is
you
very
consider country?
Twang, elongated noises. Hey-oo.
Well, I mean, because like
slide guitar.
the Antwoord
Yeah, some
comes
sliding.
from southern South Africa, and that could be like country to them, but they do like hard rap.
No.
No.
The Antwoord
So,
is not.
I think country suffers the same thing as rap, where rap doesn't have different subgenres to split everything into. It just all is considered rap, even though there's like drill rap and there's gangster rap and there's different stuff.
Like trap
That
music.
really doesn't get divided up. Country, there's like people consider pop country, and then like there's the more western, the country and western style, and then there's like that in between where it's just
also different
plain.
ages of country. Like
Yeah.
classic country
that's-
might be now Garth Brooks, but there's still even a classic country older than that.
I mean, Garth Brooks is the
Right.
greatest selling
Like Charlie
artist of all
Pride and
time.
stuff like that.
Yo, Garth Brooks is very unknown for how famous he actually is.
I don't think he's that unknown.
He
why do you
took
say he's
time off
unknown?
Like to the mass population, he is very unknown.
for being
I
the
think-
greatest
I
selling
think
album
his-
artist of all time.
kids.
I don't think his music
Yeah,
is.
like-
So if you play his music, his top like 5 songs to
Oh,
the
well,
general
if you
public,
play
they're
Friends
gonna
in Low
recognize
Places,
it.
everyone knows that song, but
Right,
no
but
one
they
knows
might
the
not know
man
it's Garth
behind the
Brooks.
music.
Ben,
Yeah.
in the
So- and they might not
thunder
recognize his face.
roll. And speaking of wrecking and rapping,
Thunder rolls,
it is
yeah.
the verbal equivalent to Inception's architect turning dreams into mazes. We keep walking, creating new landscape
Not a
as we
fan of that
go.
movie.
A topic can take an interesting detour and work our way back to the main road, like we just did. And now we can
Yay!
get back to some Shakespeare. I know you guys have
Create
really
chaos.
missed out on some Shakespeare. Last
Billy
week,
Shakes.
you talked about The Lion King and horses. We'll be reading Richard III, Act 5, Scene 4. And, does Alex have Shakespeare out?
No, I have a whole different book. But it's
Is the
cool.
book even up?
He's flipping the
Is he
pages.
even holding it the correct way?
Richard is like Scar, a disfigured man attempting to usurp the throne. And this is the play that starts now as the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York. This is the end of the play on the battlefield. Catesby. Rescue, my lord of Norfolk, rescue, rescue. The king enacts more wonders than a man, daring and opposite to every danger. His horse is slain, and all on foot he fights, seeking for Richmond in the throat of death. Rescue, fair lord, or else the day is lost. King Richard. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Catesby. Withdraw, my lord, I'll help you to a horse. King Richard. Slave, I have set my life upon a cast, and I will stand the hazards of the die. I think there be 6 Richmonds in the field. 5 have I slain today instead of him. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. And that is the last we hear of King Richard. One line that stood out to me was, set my life on a cast, and I will stand the hazard of the die. Get it? Like cast a dice, die, singular.
I feel like that meaning came to be after that writing.
I was more wondering,
to be or not to be.
Did he give his kingdom to the guy who was going to help him to a horse?
No, he dies.
But he did.
Also, which Richard?
Richard III?
The third?
That's the title of the play.
Super unfamous Richard.
How is it super unfamous when there's a play about
famous play now? That line, a horse is a famous one.
Which is in Robin Hood.
King John, isn't it?
I thought it was King Louis or something.
Or it's not.
No.
He's a king too, because he's
a. Yeah, you're getting your Disney movies confused.
Richard is the one who's off to war.
He's at the
Richard the Lionheart is off to war.
Yes, he's the king.
Which Richard's that?
He's in the Crusades.
First, maybe. Let's say he's the first.
I don't know my Richards.
And then
I also don't know my kings.
And John is a steward. That's it. He's not king. He's steward.
He's his brother. I believe he's Prince John.
Yeah, okay, Prince. And with horses, cavalry was one of the most important units, because who wins in a fight between a group of horses versus a group of humans?
Did they?
The guys with big
did they teach you
the pikemen
horses while you were in the army?
No, that would be cavalry. And nowadays, the cavalry is helicopters. So who wins in a fight between a group of helicopters and a group of humans?
I think it still stands by that a downed helicopter is good cover, whereas a live helicopter is chaos. You don't just want a helicopter running itself around the state.
And that depends on what kind of helicopter it is.
Yeah. What
is
happens in that?
An attack helicopter or a news helicopter?
The audience.
If you shot a
it's going to be a news helicopter either way when it goes down, because it's creating some news.
Got him.
Yeah.
The audience wouldn't know this, but while I was gone, you boys played the Trolley game every episode, but it was cut for time. What? Subscribe to the Patreon for unedited episodes. The Trolley game you were playing was choosing the lesser of 2 evils. In the famous trolley experiment, 3 people are going to be crushed, and you can change the train's path to take out 1 person instead. The argument is you're doing good by saving the larger number, but by intervening, you actively harm another, which is usually considered bad. A question of do the ends justify the means, which is what we'll get into in the second half of the show. Now, please take a moment to subscribe or follow the channel. Alex, is anything wrecking your week? Music to my ears. I missed that sound so much.
Oh, dude, I can't stand when it comes up in movies now. Like, this is what I think of when I see that in a movie.
Oh,
like a DJ drop makes me think of having to complain about things. This one's weird. The thing that is bothering me this week is nightmares, or if you want to refer to them as bad dreams.
Okay.
Like, the other night I had this horrible dream. Like, I dream so vividly. Sometimes it's from first person. Sometimes it's from third person. Like,
are you in it every time?
I don't. Well, I mean,
how often
depending.
Is it how often is it second person?
Good question.
No, I mean, would second person be I'm someone else, but I can't control that person? I would still control me from someone else's perspective. That
Second
would be
person
second
is
person.
outside. We had a whole conversation about speaking in second person.
Dreams are kind of like that, where you're in somebody else's body, then you don't have have control.
See, that's my problem. I'm super vivid, and sometimes I'm me. I guess if I'm in it, I'm always me, but I could be me from a third party perspective. Like I can top down like a video game. But someone was poisoning my cat, and like they were force feeding it poison, and it was very upsetting.
Like
and
what
then
kind of poison?
I had one last night. That was.
We talk about like high fructose corn syrup, or
it was rat poison.
Antifreeze,
but not cat poison, at least.
Yeah, but they were force feeding rat poison pellets into my cat, and I was very upset about it.
Like it's a goose?
Well, no, like you held the cat upside down and just were like
upside down.
Yeah, well, it's.
Do you know how they make fargois?
So they're holding the cat upside down, and they're just like.
No, it's like when you turn a cat over on its back, the cat just kind of gives up.
Oh, okay. They're like this.
Yeah, they just
thought they were like holding it by the tail upside down.
Oh, like it was very upsetting.
Submissive.
And then I had a nightmare last night, but I don't remember what that one was.
So they were cradling your cat and force feeding it rat poison.
Force feeding it rat poison.
Like with a spoon, or just like dumping it straight out of the can?
Handfuls, and jamming it into this. Why are you making me relive this?
So what do you think that means? Are you worried about your cat?
We're not too sure what you're mad. Yeah.
And
what's your complaint?
I'm upset about nightmares.
Anything, it's your own mind is your problem.
I don't like bad dreams.
Have you tried sleeping with a nightlight on? Maybe that would prevent them?
Why would that prevent me thinking horrible things?
I don't know. How do we prevent nightmares?
Did you eat some crazy food before you went to sleep?
How do we fix it, Alex?
I don't know how to fix it. I had bad dreams yesterday as well.
He only plays Ralph,
I don't fix
not Felix.
Okay, well, I guess we could move on to Flizzo's This Week in History if he's got anything.
I do have a few things to talk about. I'll throw them out.
Week.
Fastball. Yeah, it was actually, I probably missed a couple things, but 3 things that kind of stuck out were in 1957, they launched Sputnik, that ushered in like the space race and space age and all that. So the first satellite that orbit the Earth, or the first man-made satellite, for people being technical.
Yeah, the moon won that race.
Yeah.
We like the moon!
In 1990, the reunification of Germany after like 4 decades under the control and division during the Cold War.
What caused that? Why was it need to be unified?
The evil Russians! Zangief himself ripped the country in half. He had
it was the Soviets.
Driver.
It wasn't the Russians.
It wasn't Russia. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It wasn't the Russians that we know and love today.
That's what I wanted to say about like the rap and country genres is any culture outside of American doesn't count anyway. If we say they're Chinese, we say they're Russian, that's what they are.
And then one more thing. 1995.
There goes all of our international viewers.
The trial of the century ended with a not guilty verdict when O.J. Simpson was acquitted from his crimes that he did back then. They said he didn't do.
I had it in my notes. I had it in my notes for the last episode to ask if you guys think he did it or not.
More I've heard about it since. No, I don't think he did it.
I think his son might have done it.
That's what I think. I've heard his son.
Wait, a lot of good
news about that.
Yeah.
I guess
he has a couple kids,
and the woman that was harmed was not his mom, so there's that.
His son was a chef, by the way.
Yeah, who was supposed to cook dinner for them. She canceled,
and I believe he's had some aggravated assault charges, including like stabbing people.
I believe he was charged from a service for.
Wait, is stabbing someone with a knife aggravated assault and not attempted murder?
It all depends on context.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you stab them.
If you're attacking someone with a deadly weapon, it should like.
I think it's actually it could be both. Realistically, because aggravated assault, you have to have the intent to cause serious bodily injury and harm. It is aggravated assault, but it also is attempted.
Josh Rutan says he just does it to return the favor to people.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, can you use that as an argument in court? Be like, oh, well, I wasn't trying to unalive them, but like I just wanted to mess them up, and that way you can
Yeah.
get it knocked
I
down
mean-
from manslaughter.
Or you were practicing
Well,
your
no-
stabbing,
no.
which is my favorite noise. Ha ha! Ha ha!
You can't get it knocked down for manslaughter.
Burp.
Manslaughter means they're no longer.
Well, I guess it would be
Your
accidental
actions
manslaughter then.
resulted. No, that's what manslaughter is. Your actions resulted
Yeah,
in their.
manslaughter. You don't have intent.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
okay.
do.
So then you would knock it down
Yeah.
from like
They're no
1 to
longer
manslaughter.
alive, living. Well,
I mean,
one,
there's-
no.
No.
One is
One is
Either way,
premeditated.
all right.
2
Well,
is
I derailed the
heat
train,
of the
so let's get
moment.
back on track.
Yeah, so the Ben, would you like to
Trains-
tell us about the horse and farmer that had to do with last week's theme of preparation? Or maybe it didn't?
It didn't have to do with preparation. It has to
Well,
do
it was
with
in the
things are-
episode.
It's not in the
Oh,
episode.
it never made it
Well,
to the
yeah, it
actual
wasn't
The
in
episode.
Ninja Turtles were in
It
the
was in the
episode.
thumbnail.
And it's still a constant battle of some people want to be
Well, I guess that-
Donatello's, Michelangelo's.
To be fair, though, bringing it up now, referring to the episode, is a reference to being prepared and failing to prepare, because we had discussed that might be discussed, and we never discussed having the turtles discussed, and that was what we talked about for 15 minutes.
Because Ninja Turtles are.
We could have a whole episode about Ninja Turtles or turtles. It really doesn't matter.
Or
That's
we
true.
could
Could
move on to
just be-
something with some purpose,
All right.
like the
Well, you want to
Bible.
tell me about the horse? So there,
What? Okay, what about the horse?
Okay,
What about
yeah,
the
you
horse?
can tell us about
yeah,
the
you want
horse.
to know about the horse?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was a farmer that had a horse, and then it ran away, and then all
That's
of his
bad.
neighbors said, that's all the neighbors said, and the farmer said, "We'll see." And then a couple days later, the horse came back, and it brought a whole bunch of wild horses with it, and all of the neighbors.
Oh, that's great.
The farmer said, "We'll see." And then so the farmer's son was riding one of the horses, trying to tame one of the wild horses, and it threw him off, and it broke his leg. So
Oh no, that's bad.
and the farmer said, "We'll see." And then the Mongol army attacked, and all the men were recruited
That's
to
bad.
the army, except for the farmer's son was not taken because he had a broken leg.
That's bad.
People say, "Well,
Well, no, that part would be
Oh.
the good part.
Well, he didn't get to serve
that'd
his
be good
country
when you're
though.
not being."
Oh,
It-
no,
Yeah, but
look
you're
at that
not
perspective.
protecting your land.
Yeah,
So-
but he's there working his land. Yeah, protecting his.
But yeah, it's good.
But
It's
he's
good
also-
that he didn't have to go fight the Mongol horde.
Yeah, but he's not
Nothing
getting
is
those
good.
pence. He's not getting paid for
but
being
he's
in the
working
services
the farm, but
and sending
doesn't
that money
matter.
back home.
The point is, nothing is good and nothing is bad. It is
And
what
what
it
I
is.
say is good is Bible.
Nothing is good. Nothing is bad. Things just are.
A acronym for God, good, orderly direction. This is Genesis 46:26. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 76. Last time I recorded, upon finishing, I immediately took my wife to the hospital to create a new soul. All the souls born onto Jacob were 70. Possibly the first
6.
mention. Yeah, wait, let me check that again. Did I
3
Yeah,
A score is
okay.
20.
Well, so we're reckoning and rapping here. In my head, I've kept reading 10. So I'm going to talk about that, which is 70, is what I've heard as long as a human life is, but also that 7 is the archetypal holy number. Like archetypal characters, king, priest, jester, we have archetypal numbers. Remember the Sabbath. On the seventh day,
Do you mean
God
prime
rested.
numbers?
No, what are prime numbers? Only divisible by themselves in 1?
Maybe they're
Okay.
prime because of God.
I mean, Optimus
7
prime
is
numbers.
primed by God?
7 is a prime
Well,
number.
Back
7
to the ends
isn't-
justify the means. I have this book, 50 philosophy ideas you really need to know, that I want to work our way through. And number 16 is ends and means. Here's a quote from Leon Trotsky. The end may justify the means so long as there is something that justifies the end. You know what I'm saying?
Everything
Care
justifies.
to
the
elaborate a little bit on that one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so like, yeah, you have to find something that justifies the end. Like if you go from the farmer and the horse perspective, that there's just nothing is good or bad, then you can't really justify, I don't know, planting seeds or getting more horses because,
I feel justification
Yep.
is perspective of an individual.
yeah,
But
I could see
If
that.
you look at farming, though, your ends are
Yeah.
feeding people or feeding yourself. So that's justified. It's like, okay, I get to eat. So the means are
Yeah.
I gotta plow, I gotta plant, I gotta
But why
harvest.
is feeding yourself justified?
Because you get to
Because you
live
survive.
and sustain
Yeah.
yourself.
Wow. I mean, so that's just
Yeah.
one man's opinion that it wants to live and will eat
I can go
anything to get
steal a
there.
loaf of bread, and that's justified because I gotta eat to live, and I gotta
Mhm.
steal to eat.
Yeah, true.
But then
Many people believe in Aladdin's.
Yeah, I just gotta stay one
Yeah.
step ahead of the law, man.
no, did nothing wrong. Javert is not a bad guy.
You mean
And
Jafar?
They're the same thing. They're the same story.
I guess technically, no, they're not.
How? How are they not?
I don't think they're the same
A
story.
poor guy who
I
gets
don't-
arrested for stealing
Les Mis.
bread and then freed by a government official who then tracks them the entire time, who also leads an uprising
There is no
against
magic
said
in
government
Les
official.
Mis. There is no magic in Les Mis.
That's
Oh,
the difference.
okay.
The magic.
There's no
magic
magic.
is the difference between Les Mis and Aladdin.
I didn't know we made
And-
the jump to
yes.
Les Mis.
And then the government officials
Which
who's
actually,
focused on
Chris, proves Ben's point. Then, if you didn't realize the difference between Jafar and French
Javert.
Jafar,
That they're
Javert.
not the same?
They are.
yeah, that
What-
he's arguing that they're the same person
Which
because
they're
one
the
was
same-
written first, though?
Miss.
I'm thinking
Well,
the Tales of
I
40 Thieves was written well
Yeah,
before.
the Aladdin I'm considering is the Aladdin movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
the,
but
Arabian
I
Nights
mean, it's based
existed
on-
before France.
Yeah, it's based on
yeah,
a
yeah,
different
I
thing.
don't
so.
know
Oh,
the
shoot.
full
That
origin
means Les
story
Mis might
of.
actually be based on Arabian Nights? Like, actually based on that?
It could be.
Oh,
I don't-
gosh.
I
That
mean,
just...
Said they're the same story.
I don't know how I feel
Jafar's
right
not
now.
bad. Jafar's not a bad guy.
Oh,
Only
that
one
changes
running a
so
country.
much stuff.
This is an idea that we will have to continue to explore over time, the Ben, of your
That's your way of saying
defending.
I want to talk about something else, and we're
Defending
never.
bad people that he views aren't bad.
Well, no, I have to think about it a lot, and like, how do I want to approach that topic?
Jafar's
And, like,
not.
It's
What
a slippery
is it?
slope. You know,
Yeah,
like
it
is
a
a
peach
slippery
roof
slope.
where you attack a king of a village and then accidentally slip and fall off to your doom.
Yeah, so here's a description of the schools of thought for ends and means. The various theories that have been proposed are often seen as sitting on one side or the other of a major fault line in ethics, the line that separates duty-based, deontological theories from consequence-based, consequentialist ones. So it's consequentialism and deontology. Consequentialists will weigh up the good and bad consequences in each case and make their decisions on that basis. In a deontological system, actions are thought to have intrinsic value in their own right. So like Flizzo said, keeping yourself alive is just intrinsically good. And we talked about the trolley experiment of like, well, hurting
but, like,
3 people is worse than hurting 1.
Do you know who
Is it,
had
though?
a conflict with those two types of morality?
Oh.
Javert.
Well, I
Because
I'm not
well,
familiar with Les Mis, though.
Ben,
I
know
Ben
nothing
does
about
not want to
Les
get
Mis.
off the Les Mis topic.
You can tell us more about it if you want.
That's what happened to Javert
It's
was
classic
because
literature.
his job was to bring back Jean Valjean. He was a prison guard and officer. He was trying to bring back but he got saved.
Wasn't he retired years later when he tried to bring him back again?
Well, Jean Valjean had to become a leader in the community, and he was like helping save people and doing good things. But he saved Javert's life. So Javert was then conflicted of, do I do my duty and bring in the person who I'm supposed to have arrested? But he also saved me from, forget what, I think he was getting hit by a car, but he saved
So
his
he
life.
believed there was an intrinsic value in being saved, his life.
It was a conflict between those two types of views, and he could not handle
What
that.
if he didn't try to arrest him and then lost his job, and then he doesn't make money anymore, and then he can't feed his family now?
This is why he had this conflict at that
So,
point.
like, I don't see. No. He's putting other people ahead of his family.
No,
which I feel like he made the wrong decision.
Do you know what his solution was to that conflict? Is what I'm saying. Is you're getting ahead of it.
Because I've never seen all of
Yeah,
Les
what
Mis.
was
He went into a puddle.
Oh.
Had the conflict, and
Went
it
into
was
Like he just tripped in the rain?
He fell down. Like what?
he tried to breathe water. He had the conflict of he had
he couldn't handle it.
So I'm saying
Okay.
that, like, because he could not.
Oh.
You know,
with which
there
way
is a
of-
danger to justifying the ends with the means, the maxim could be seen as sinister when an inappropriate end is chosen and the choice is made in light of ideology or dogma. Like when I say there's a dogma to publish or perish, meaning they must put out a study with amazing results to put food on their table. The actual science and actual results take a backseat to constant publishing. What's
Academic is public.
Yeah.
Publish or
Yeah, like
but,
all
then
corporateness
you see that with
is-
corporations as well. They have to do profits no matter what.
Yes, you always have to have record profits.
Record profits, yeah. You have to increase your number. You got to put out a new product.
Yeah.
Even
And
though
I
the
think with
old
like,
product's perfectly fine.
So you're saying that the
Yeah,
university
makes just as
science,
much
you're
money
saying
this
that as
year.
one group. And I think if you get corporate science, then it's like a study is being paid for by the company. You need to provide results that the company wants, which means like then you have to
Oh,
adhere
yeah,
to company
that's-
dogma.
That's a paid-for answer.
No, that's not always even true. So a lot of companies do back research. You don't always get the answer that you want, but people always talk about like, well, because I mean, you don't go and tell people and publish it if it's not the answer you wanted.
Yeah, but if the tobacco industry's doing funding a scientific study on the healthiness of a tobacco product, how do you think that's going to work out?
I mean, 1950, I was told smoking cures asthma.
Yeah.
You were alive in 1950?
And
semantics.
Very limited study, they found that smoking, yes, it relaxed your lungs, and so you could open up and pull in more oxygen, which is true. They stopped studying at that point.
Well, the more
they stopped
you puff,
studying right there. So
your young lungs are a muscle. The more you work them, the better you are at using them. So
the smoking makes your lungs stronger.
But also, do you know?
And then makes you
know
be able
the
to
whole,
run faster.
That checks out.
Doesn't work with every muscle though.
I mean, you know who
Heart
funds
doesn't work
truth?
that way.
Who funds truth? The Ministry of Truth, right?
R. Kelly?
Ooh.
No, was that Booker T? Who does?
What?
R.
That's
Truth?
R.
Ron
Truth.
Ron
Truth
Killing is who you're referencing. Who is surprisingly still wrestling, but he's also Ron Killings is another thing. No, they're funded by tobacco companies. So like the Truth, all those ads and all that. Yeah,
they make a fake resistance probably. Is that it?
I think there was a court order for it. I mean, all the stuff that they cite in those commercials
to do it?
is true and all accurate about smoking and cause.
I saw one of those fun facts today that
not always fun.
The pirating movies, like that thing that used to be like come up before movies and be like, you wouldn't steal a car.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, statistically led to more people pirating movies because at the time they didn't know they could do that. And then that ad that told them not to do that made them go, oh, that's a thing I can do? And so they did it.
Which is generally the danger of social programs that you say, we're going to fix this by doing this. And you don't know the effects of doing that thing until it's actually out in the real world, and you can actually be making things worse, which is part of the trolley and the ends justifying the means.
That things aren't.
Is that kind of like the Streisand effect, where if you bring attention to something, now people may not have known about it before, so now they're like, oh,
yeah,
that thing's there.
Yes,
it's like something that's not actually a problem that you're claiming is a problem, and then you
just never tell anybody anything. You keep your gloves up.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't press that button because it'll make everything shut off.
Don't tell somebody to press the button. As soon as people want to press the button.
The numbers are
the answer is 24.
8,
done.
5, 4, 7.
Okay. I figured it out with it.
I've got.
And either way, no matter what, it breaks down to 6 times 4. 6 times 4.
Yes. 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 times 4.
What?
6 times 4 is 24.
7 minus 5 is 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24.
That's fine. There's different ways. That's the point of the game.
Every single one of these comes down to 6 times 4.
No, it's just
all
a popular.
Of them. They're just 6 times 4.
It's a popular way to get to 24. Maybe the most popular, but
because 7 times.
And maybe that's just because we're on the level 1s. So maybe all the level 1s end with that.
6 times 4. Everything ends with 6 times 4.
Can you believe it? We've already come to the end
boring. Let's play Hungry Hippos.
King Cooper's welcome episode back. So, final thoughts? The podcast purpose is to save humanity and enlighten the dark. Saving humanity is the end, and the means are enlightening the dark. Focus on the light. Check out Mama of Three Boutique on Etsy for all your Philly Pride needs. Use promo code WRECKING to save 10%. Find Flizzo on Instagram, that's PHLIZO. Follow Alex on Google Maps, all links in description. My website, drawingmylifeaway.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.
Give Alex recommendations.
Jesus.
Buy a Conde.
Whoa.
Yeah.